All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles that have been rightly dividing this word of truth and magnifying the ministry of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. And this one right here, we're going to name it Only the Children of Israel Are Prophets. Because it's a lot of confusion still in the Christian community thinking that all nations can be prophets. But we're going to go through the scriptures and, break it down and show that, only the children of Israel are prophets, right? First, we're going to read Joel chapter 2 and verse 28, which is another misused verse to try to make it seem like, you know, they try to make it seem like this is saying that everyone has salvation, but it's really just dealing with dreams, visions, and prophecy, right? So let's start at verse 28. It says, let's start at verse 27. This good right here. It says, and ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am Yahweh your God, and none else. So off the rip, the Lord is telling you that he's only the God of Israel and none else. Everyone doesn't come from the lineage of Israel, okay? Reading on, it says, and my people should never be ashamed, right? And we should never be ashamed that the God of heaven and earth is only our power. We should be rejoicing at that. In verse 28, it says, and this shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old man shall dream dreams, and your young man shall see visions. So right here in verse 28 is literally, this is talking about the children of Israel, right? And we could prove it, right? When you go to Amos chapter 2 and verse 11, it says, and I raised up your sons for prophets, and your young men for Nazarites. Is it not even thus, O ye children of Israel, saith Yahweh? So the Lord is letting you know that he raised up Israel's sons for prophets, right? Only Israel can be prophets, right? Let's get another one. Let's go to Amos 3 and 7. It says, surely Yahweh power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets, right? So the Lord's servants are the prophets, right? And in order for you to be a servant of the God of heaven and earth, you have to be a descendant of Israel, right? Don't get it mixed up. The other nations are still going to be servants to, you know, Yahweh Shai and that 144,000 elect. But in order for you to be a servant of the Almighty, right, the Heavenly Father, you have to be a descendant of Israel, right? Let's go to Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 55. It says, for unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am Yahweh your power. So in order for you to be a servant of Almighty Father, Yahweh, you have to be a child of Israel. And for you to be a prophet, you have to be a descendant of Israel. Let's read it again. Amos 2 and 11 says, and I raised up your sons for prophets, and your young men for Nazarites. Is it not even thus, O ye children of Israel, saith the Lord? So only the children of Israel are prophets. So when we in verse 28 of Joel, and it's saying that your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old man shall dream dreams and see visions, this verse is speaking about the Israelites. Now, when we go to verse 29, and it says, and also upon the servants and the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit, right? But so the Lord is going to pour out his spirit on the servants and handmaids also. And if you're not familiar of who the servants and the handmaids are, this is talking about the future slaves, the future captives, right? If you read Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1, it says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. So, the Lord is going to pour his spirit out on the servants and the handmaids, which are the future slaves and captives of the Israelites. But it's not going to be a spirit of rejoicing and, delight. It's going to be a spirit of trouble, right? All throughout the scriptures, when the Lord gave, a man of a different nation a dream, it always troubled them, right? And we could read about that. What was that? What's Salakia? But we could read about that, right? Let's go to Daniel chapter 4 and verse 4. It says, I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in my own house, right? Nebuchadnezzar was the king of Babylon. It says, and flourishing in my palace, I saw a dream which made me afraid, and the thoughts upon my bed and the visions of my head troubled me. So this is one example of the Lord giving, a servant and a handmaid a dream and a vision. Because if you don't know, the Babylonians are going to be our slaves in the future, right? They're going to be our servants and handmaids. Right, verse 6, it says, therefore I made a decree to bring all the wise men of Babylon before me, that they might make known unto me the interpretation of the dream. Then came and the musicians and the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers. And I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation thereof. Why couldn't they make the interpretation of the dream? Because they wasn't a prophet, right? They did come out that lineage of the prophets, which are the Israelites, right? Why couldn't Nebuchadnezzar understand his own dream? Because he wasn't made to be a prophet, because he didn't descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right, reading on, it says, but at the last Daniel came in before me. Who was Daniel? Daniel was an Israelite. It says whose name was Belt Shazer, according to the name of my power, and whom is the spirit of the holy powers. And before him I told the dream, saying, O Belteshazzar, master of the musicians, because I know that the spirit of the holy powers is in thee, and no secret trouble thee, tell me the visions of my dream that I have seen and the interpretation thereof. Right, so this is an example of one of the servants, future servants and handmaids, getting a dream and having to go to the true prophets to break it down to him, right? Which was Daniel at the time, right? If you could let's get another example, right? Let's go to Genesis. Let's go way back to the Pharaohs, right? Genesis chapter 40. I'm gonna go to 20 and verse 3. Anytime these other nations got a dream, it always troubled them, right? And if you get a dream today of this man right here, and you say you got some type of dream from the Almighty, right? If you get a dream from this man right here and he visits you in this dream, right, Shedar Bajaya, I'm gonna tell you that the damn Satan is on you, man. Right? I'm gonna break it down to you, man, and let you know that that you got damn demons in you, man. If this man come into your dreams, Shedar Bajaya, because this is not the image of Yahweh Shah, right? And that is not God. But let's get back to it. Let's go to Genesis chapter 20 and verse 3. It says, but Yahweh came to Amalek in a dream by night and said to him, behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife. But Amalek had not come near her. And he said, Lord, wilt thou slay also a righteous nation? Say he not unto me, she is my sister, and even she herself said, he is my brother. And the integrity of my heart and the innocency of my hands have I done this. And Yahweh said unto him in a dream, yeah, I know that thou didst this in the integrity of thy heart, for I also withheld thee from sinning against me. Therefore suffer I thee not to touch her. Right? So look, the Lord always came to these, these nations and troubled them in their dreams. It was never good when the Lord came to these other nations and gave them a dream, right? It was always when Nebuchadnezzar got the dream, he got a dream about his kingdom coming to an end. That's not a good dream. When this man got a dream right here, it was a dream about the Lord, finna do something dirty to him, man. Finna get down with him, man. Take him out. All these dreams that the other nations get, it troubles their spirits. Right, let's get another example in Genesis. Let's go to Genesis chapter 41 and verse 7. It says, "And the seventh thin ears devoured the seven rank and the full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled. And he sent and called all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them this dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh." So the same situation that happened to the king of Babylon is the same thing that's happening to the Pharaoh right here. Right? The Lord gave him a dream and a vision. He went to go get all his wise men from his nation to break it down to him, but they couldn't give him an interpretation. Right? Reading on, it says, "Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants and put me inward and the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream in one night, I and he. We dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream." Right? It says, "And there was with us a young man, a Hebrew servant, to the captain of the guard, and we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams, to each man according to his dream he did interpret." Right? So now, you know, some servants got a dream and they couldn't break it down either. So they had to go get this Hebrew man, right? Who was this Hebrew man? He was a descendant of the children of Israel. Let's read on. It says, "And it came to pass as he interpreted to us, so it was me he restored unto my office, and him he hanged. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and he shaved himself and changed his raiment, and he came unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it," man. So this shows you again that, only the children of Israel can break down prophecies and understand, dreams and visions and things like that, and really, reveal the deep secrets to those things, right? These is two examples I'm showing you that, these other nations getting a dream from the Almighty and not being able to interpret it, right? Calling all the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers, and they still can't come together to break down the dream. But once you go get an Israelite, which is raised up to be a prophet, it's nothing for them to interpret it through the spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. Right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 1, 47 and 19. And it says, "He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh." So that's the reason why they couldn't interpret the visions and things of that, because he only showed his judgments unto Israel, right? And when these nations was getting dreams that troubled them, it was always about going into them coming out of rulership and things like that. But Lord willing, this was edifying. All praise to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. Shalom.